Y'all, so I found something slightly different, but from the same tree. Not sure if that's a saying or not, but it's what I'm going to use here. And I haven't listened to the entire video. I just looked at the caption and went to the comment section and saw that people were making the very typical responses, and want to go over that. But for you, I will play the video, and then we'll go from there.
And one thing you'll never catch me doing is congratulating a woman because she fucked someone and got pregnant. I personally won't attend a baby mama baby shower. I'm not interested. Having babies is a biological function. You don't get a medal or treats or sweets for any of that. You get celebrated for bringing a child into order, into structure, into legacy, into divine union. You don't get praised for anything else. And one thing you'll never catch me doing is congratulating.
Now, listen. Did you hear what she said in totality? What she said was, she will not celebrate you for simply going out and fucking, and then that ending up in a pregnancy. That is what I took from what she said. That's how I would summarize it, or put in my own words. And what people, some of the people got, some people on her side. I'm talking about the people who are disagreeing with her. The very, very typical, just heard what they wanted to hear, and or just made every excuse in the book for why they shouldn't really have to listen to anything. Like it's let's get to it. It's insane. Very first comment. You could be a single mother with a husband sleeping peacefully next to you. I don't know why we glorify this whole idea that marriage is the magical thing that automatically makes people good people, with the assumption these people will also make the best parents. That is not what she said nor implied. She said order and structure. You can think about the foundation of a house. There are times when it fails. There are times when you build a really good foundation, but the house itself is trash because the way the house was. They didn't follow instructions. They didn't follow code, any of that. Yes, other things can go wrong. Does it mean that you should forego the foundation and then just, just build a house however the fuck you want to build a house? That wouldn't make sense. So I'm not sure why we cherry pick, or the people who do cherry pick the idea of, well, it can go wrong anyway, so why start off right? That's retarded. Oh no, Tatiana won't attend someone's baby shower. Whatever would the world do? Again, this is someone, I assure you, and we'll get there to some examples. But people who talk like this, these very same people feel that you should be required, that you should feel compelled to help anybody who is in a bad situation from their own actions in this very scenario. But you can't have an input, or if you have an input, as this person says, fuck your input, we'll move on. But you do want people to be there for you. I'm not going to focus on many of these, but I will say this one of the people who agreed with her. She's right, coming from a person that had two out of wedlock. The second one, I was so embarrassed. I vowed that I would never do it that way again. My third and final baby was done right, and the feeling have is unmatched. It made me regret not doing it right the first and second times to this day. Now, when I first read that, I just had a laugh because I was like, no fucking way. Of course, the first comment that agrees with her is, yeah, I fucked up twice. But I made that third guy go do it right, and now, like it's like like it never fails. But you got it right, fine. Moving on. Holy shit, it never fails. Just because a couple is married doesn't automatically mean the child is better off, has structure, or is in divine order. Okay, I'm gonna assume the divine part is we're talking about a religion. I don't care about that part. I just care about the structure part. If you feel that religion is structure, we have to have a different conversation for that. But for right now, I'm just paying attention to the structure part. But again, she says is Not automatically. Note something here. Now I'm probably gonna have to like pause and whatever because of how Facebook works. But let's go to her profile. Look at her profile picture. That is her as an adult graduating. So it's not high school. This was college. Black woman, college. Do you think this black woman would tell any black woman who wants to be successful that, hey, just because you go to college don't mean you're going to end up doing well. It definitely don't mean you end up doing better than somebody who didn't go to college. Hell, all the world's billionaires didn't go to college or didn't finish college. Do you think she would say that? Or do you think she would tell her fellow black woman, hey bitch, you need to be in them books? Because these niggas ain't shit, this government ain't shit, all these people don't give a fuck about you, we got it the hardest and we got it, college is the answer. But we know college, a lot of people complain about it. A lot of people complain about it not helping them, being in debt, so on and so forth. But she won't look at it that way, will she? But when it comes to that marriage thing, oh no, I want to have this baby solo dolo, even if the man is there. How many times have we seen them describe basically that? I want to have this baby solo. You can be around, but I want this baby solo. And yet I gotta see, and I'm about to unfollow this one chick called Black Card Decline. Stay reposting Charlie Kirk saying 2/3 of the black fathers just get the woman pregnant and leave. You mean them? The ones that believe in this shit?
And one thing you'll never catch me doing is congratulating a woman because she...
The ones that believe in this? That they seriously would rather have the baby by themselves than to have you there and your input is different. Your desire for how you raise that child is different. You really, like, we walk away from them? Or do you think that they actually have a part in saying, yeah, fuck your daddy. We don't see eye to eye, so fuck him. We gonna keep moving on how we feel is needed, right? But nah, it's just us walking away. Some people want to become mothers whether they're married or not. Single women adopt for this reason. Even if I never get married, I still want to have another child eventually. Again, I'm definitely mixing that into this because it's relevant. We're seen as the group that keeps leaving the baby mama and the baby. Meanwhile, this mindset. Look at the way that some of them are wording it. They're not wording it as they're not even doing the he gonna leave anyway bit. They're doing it I don't give a fuck if he there. I want a baby. I don't care if he's there. I want a baby. You ain't got to be rich to be Ebony K. Williams. You will do it the cost-effective way, which find some dummy, get his seed, and I don't give a fuck around, nigga. Peace out. This my baby. You can have whatever input you want, but it ain't gonna count. Peace out. But we're the group that leaves the baby mama, right? I ask, why not put in the effort to getting married first? Now, I don't know if this is seen as like antagonizing. I'm trying to get a solid answer for why this would be the outlook of a woman who wants another child, which means she likely isn't married now, or probably wasn't in a relationship when she had the first one. But let's see her response. She says, everyone doesn't want to get married. Again, wants a child, does not want marriage. She at the very most wants a broken home, but she could do it less. Stop this bullshit nonsense that the black father just leaves. She doesn't want him there. Am I saying it never happens the other way? Obviously not. But look at this mindset up and down this post. There are plenty of black women who get pregnant by these dudes and they purposely don't fucking want him there. Simply suggesting that they have it in wedlock structure. Well, it doesn't mean anything, so I might as well do it the wrong. How? Let me fix that. They're not saying that they might as well do it the wrong way. They're saying they might as well do it their way. However, they feel comfortable about it. Fuck the family. I understand that. But why put your child against? Why put what you want against what your child needs? She says a child doesn't need their parents to be married. Don't need it. Do you know how bad of logic this is for the concept we're talking about? Every father on planet Earth could say, well, you don't really need me to be there, right? The mama got it. At best, you need me to send a few shekels over every now and again, right? You don't need me to be there. Hell, you got a village. You know that V word they say all the time? Village. We'll get to that at some point. I'm probably past it. But you don't need me there, right? So why do we call them Debbie Dads? You don't need me there. Hell, fucking gorillas know how to raise babies. So you definitely don't need a dad. You probably don't need a mama. So what are we arguing about? Why are you why are you talking shit to me? About me? You don't even need me there. Right? The ultimate convenient factor. We could, you could just do your job and we not be married, right? So you could essentially force the very specific family setup you want, and if the father says, "Nah, I want it that way," well, immediately he's a bad father because you could just do your job despite what I'm around or not, whether I let you have this situation that I agreed to at one point. No. I can just do whatever I want and then you just do your job. Right? It's okay for you to be able to manipulate and force the situation. Not the dad, though. I'm the same way. Love and enjoy children, but don't want to be a wife. It's a lifetime commitment I'm not willing to make. The same people that will say we are wrong believe in divorce. They see marriage as a social status. To a degree, it's a social status. But usually that social status is you're doing it the right way. That's typically what that means. I like the base at the base level. That just means you're doing it the right way. Okay. Now, in your sense, I assume I don't know. Is that a guy? I don't know. I don't know if that's a woman or not. But anyway, look at what I guess it's a woman. Look at what she said. A lifetime commitment I'm not willing to make. But the baby. So you have the baby with the guy, but not be with him because that part is the lifelong commitment. Like unless you're doing it the Ebony Williams way, you're laying down and fucking this guy. But the relationship part is what bothers you. Again, that tells me you are absolutely only looking at the whole, I want to absolutely do it my way. Fuck anything else, including the kid. I just want to do this my way. Fuck anything else, including the kid. I repeat. Stop saying or automatically putting out there that it's just the dads that walk away. When you got mindsets like this in women, I don't want to hear that as the default explanation for fatherless homes. Stop it. I am sick of that. I thought a shower was to shower the baby with gifts, help mom get started. I didn't know it was to celebrate the mother. Baby shower. Yes, you're supposed to be married first. Biblically, however, a lot of times that ain't no prize either, especially when you marry the wrong person. Here we go with this bullshit again. I forget where I was. I'm gonna have to pause and go find exactly where I comment on something like that. Give me a second. All right, I found it. So Puma says, okay, so the baby don't need anything because it's the parent. The parents are I think she meant are not married. It's the baby's fault. I thought the showers were gifts for the baby, not the mother. What's going on here? I am overstimulated. So I try my hand at explaining this, and I say, if you give or even celebrate the wrong way to do it, people will abuse it and not do it right on purpose. So let me elaborate that. I hate typing. So what I'm trying to say in full is the reason people don't want to celebrate or hold baby showers for bastard children is because they want to set the precedent and the standard of you need to do this the right way. Now, will that mean that the mother or the parents are more likely to struggle? Yeah, but for one, you can't say that because you said you don't need to do it this way. So you should have it already figured out. Already, when you get pregnant, you should already have it figured out. You shouldn't need the baby shower. You shouldn't need the help. You shouldn't. You shouldn't need any of it. But also, if you're, even if the baby, if you struggle while having a baby without the shower, well, now that's telling people, yeah, you might struggle more because you didn't do it the right way. And we're not going to cover that up and make that pain go away because you did it the wrong way. That is what you call enabling someone. When you see someone do it the wrong way. Let's take the illegal immigration thing, for example. When people say, do you understand how long it takes to get to America? It takes like 5 years. Okay? So if we take the people who skipped the line and did it illegally and just give them citizenship, well, now they quite literally have taken the place of other people who could have been legal immigrants. So you didn't fix anything. You just fucked someone else over because this person did it the wrong way. And now those people who would have done it the right way are pushed further back in the line if they even get approved to come over here, which is less likely when you have even more immigrants. Like, you can't enable something and think that there's another way around putting an end to it. That's not how that works. I don't know why we need to explain this to people time and time again, but you can't do that. You can't tell I know for some reason it's women, we focus on women, but hell, this comment section is kind of explanatory wise. Because even if they want to be there, it's like, nah, nigga, move. Get out of here. But you can tell people all day, do it right. And if they don't do it, and then you just give them what they were going to get anyway, what's the point? What's the point of doing it right if doing it wrong is easier? The results are going to be the same. I'm going to get my party, because that's what it is at that point. I'm going to, and you say it's not to celebrate the parents, to celebrate the baby. Who do you think sits in that fucking chair with that big ass smile? The parents, or in this case, the mom. Because a lot of this surrounds this broken homeness. One of the biggest celebrations of their entire life will be that baby shower. Childhood was trash. Adulthood is trash. But hey, she got pregnant, now she gets a party. But I know we only want to focus on the just give her what she wants anyway. This goes almost hand in hand with the video I did yesterday about that lady trying to make singleness the equal to being married. You want the benefits of doing something without actually doing it. You're trying to make being a baby mama, baby daddy, the equivalent to being a married couple who went through that, who went through that process, who went through the process of I made this clear, and you might see it. I might have responded in this thread right here, but the process of those vows in front of those witnesses, which is what I said, is what I focused on when it comes to the marriage part. Versus, you want that to be equal to somebody who just fucked around, like the lady said in the video, and now a baby's here. You didn't really do shit. Babies get created with, some hint, like the Hennessy song. Y'all just would just hang around each other long. Like, there's no real thing that you have to do. Especially if you talk about the mother. There's a skit on a Dr. Dre song where Eddie Griffin says you was weekend pussy and something, 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 but whatever. Literally no effort is required in that. And you want that to be the equivalent of a wife who, as y'all say, literally in this comment section, is just get walked over. She just gets abused and used, and she's a single mom even though he's there. So you literally, in every way possible, want that woman to be equivalent to a weekend jump off. Stop calling men the misogynist, please. That's you. You want to bring every woman possibly down to the lowest common denominator to say, see, we're all the same. We all hoes. We all are weekend jump offs, no difference. I don't care if you say I don't care if you did your vows and all that. Still a single mom. That's all you are. But men, the people with penises are misogynists. All right. Okay. Now me and her go back and forth for a while. She says, child, this is the most harmful thing you can do or say about an innocent soul. And in the spirit, why does it even matter? It's clickbait. So she's saying that I'm clickbait. How the fuck am I clickbaiting one person in the comment section? Like, you literally could just block it. This is stupid. Saying that clickbait is stupid. But how is me saying, or I guess not celebrating the child, the most harmful thing to do when you purposely put the child in a situation where people will have to make this decision? How isn't that the most harmful thing? That shit is crazy to me. And here she goes with it's not harmful until weird adults give power to anything outside of pure love of people. Children don't deserve this level of malice. We all should be celebrate for coming into this world. Nothing is perfect, but babies are the purest thing to innocence, and this is just an evil spin on the love we should show each, especially in motherhood. Because it takes a village, and no child should hear sick negative outlooks from the village. It was caused them to be non-functional adults with mental issue. Bro, she typed all that shit wrong. But as you see, there goes that V word, village. Village, right? The village can never tell you not him. The village can never tell you not now. The village can't even tell you not outside of marriage. But you want the village to just be there. The village has to put in effort, energy, attention, everything. They should just be there to celebrate and help and hand out. But the village can never have a say about anything that comes to the end result. Dude, stop it. Stop. I refuse to listen to goofy shit like this. You get to just do whatever the fuck you want. And then just kind of just, I don't know, make a grand entrance like Pennywise or some shit and go, hey everyone, baby's here. Well, almost. Where's my party? Fuck you and that party. Fuck you and that baby. No. You don't get to just do it however the fuck you feel like, and then now the village's turn to just give you shit. If you really believe in this word of every child, pure innocence, celebrates, blah, 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 you should believe in doing it right. How the fuck do you say all of this and then say this could be simply achieved just by, fucking? That's it. That is it. No order, no process, no nothing. Just two raggedy ass people fucking and poop baby. Celebration. Really? I don't understand. I don't understand how people don't see this. You're mocking what you call this awesome thing. You're mocking what you call pure innocence. You're mocking that. Making an all-inclusive, ask no questions. It's not holding something to the standard you're describing in this comment section. Holy shit. And then she just take a couple jabs at me after that. You can pause and read it, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. She was, I guess I'll read this. Hi, I was married, had my 2 boys, and after 9 years, I became what some would call a baby mother. Stop thinking marriage means better. Let's leave that in 2025, and let's just all mind the business that pays us. Let's focus on just being good mothers, fathers. You never know how long a relationship marriage will last. Please, let's stop judging. Let's put this energy towards your economic wealth as people. Our school systems, human rights, teaching our children about credit, and things that will help our community instead of gossip talk. Ma'am, everything you said literally requires order and structure. You can't just have a school and think that it's just going to function because you want to put, quote unquote smart shit in there, like credit. Which, by the way, I do agree that part of, high school curriculum should be credit. I agree to that. But again, that takes a lot of order and structure. A lot of the right people being put in the right places. The right ideas. You don't just ignore everything until you get to a point and then just everybody hands on. That's literally an emergency. You cannot have a society based on let's just get to the point when it's an emergency and handle it then. No. You're going to suffocate yourself. You're going to drown yourself. You're going to drown your society. You're going to bleed your society to death metaphorically. You cannot have a just whatever, wait until the emergency or everybody hands on. You can't do that. Look at the school systems now. I went to Cooley High School and then I went to like the equivalent of Cooley High School in Columbus. If you don't have any fucking order, you get that mess. I won't do Briggs like that. Never. Nah, I'll take Briggs out of that equation. But Cooley High, my goodness. A bunch of kids from families like this just causing mayhem at the school all the time. No order at all. That big ass school, awesome school, well built, well designed, meant nothing. Kids can't stop bringing drugs in. Some can't stop bringing guns there. Fights all the fucking time about nothing. Police needed to be there to make sure regular dismissal happened, which wasn't every day. The cops couldn't stop like irregular dismissal. They just couldn't. You know what's involved in that? This way of thinking. The idea of it doesn't matter, just wait till the emergency, then all hands on deck. Especially when all hands on deck usually is let's praise, let's celebrate, let's give them some shit. That's the all hands on deck approach you want. You literally make fucking up a grand prize. That's what you do with this thinking. And again, when people say you should get married first, they're not literally saying just find anybody and just say fuck it, marriage. I believe I've said this before, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but Dave Ramsey cited some sort of study that says people, when they do these three things, which included graduating high school, being married, and then something else before having their first child, they typically avoid poverty. I can't remember what those were. But I know, while I agree with that, you can't just do those three things and then like, okay, now we're going to be out of poverty. No, obviously not. Because if you do those three things and then you just sit on your ass, which is probably important that I find out what that third thing is, because that third thing is probably having 4 times job. So I could be saying this wrong or using this example wrong, but you cannot just do random bulletin point shit and then think that that's going to fix your life. You are still an individual who, if you combine your life with another individual, y'all still got to figure life out for yourselves. Fuck the stats, fuck all that. You still have to figure life out for yourself. But having a base concept is kind of important. Kind of important. Yeah, I get it. I'm sort of the same way. I'm not celebrating the oncoming struggle and hardships you are about to endure with single motherhood. It's definitely not a point to celebrate. It's a time to plan and talk about your next realistic steps in life. In my opinion, it is very selfish to bring kids into this world without stability and not being able to meet their basic needs. Statistically speaking, kids have a less favorable outcome, but people will turn a blind eye to that and continue making poor decisions. In the end, the kids suffer. Now, here's one thing I have about baby showers, even when they're done post with like in quote unquote the right way. Here's what I have about this. For one, there still usually is no proper build up to having that, starting that family, right? Again, my big thing is the vows in front of witnesses. Just usually not, that is non-existent today. And then the other shit is also missing. But also on top of that, you have, what is it? Then what am I trying to point to? Hell, the baby shower itself. Like I said, look how earlier the lady put into give shit. Give free stuff, give gifts. Okay, that's part of it. But even before the party, there should be a clear direction in which people are going to move and how they're going to set this couple up to succeed. We're at this point. I don't know if we're going to do just black people. I don't know if we're going to do America. But regardless, at this point, well, I guess this is like a black thread, so I say black people. We should be at a point now to where we're helping our children with, at the very minimum, down payment on houses. To where now their real estate life, the real estate journey or whatever, is that much more stable. Like, it should be no crying about inflation and all that, and keeping people from doing this. Kamala Harris should not be having the possibility of getting voted in based on the down payment discounted tax thing for housing. Because we are so hell bent on just doing it however the fuck we want to. I.e., one example is I covered before, which is the lady saying, I wasn't about to wait on no man to buy a house, so I just bought one myself. It is a big ass like 5-bedroom house with just her in it. So it's like you do all this shit, and then like, now what? No real way to go. Just the nigga show up, he show up. If he don't, blah, blah, blah. Just like that fucking baby. So again, we refuse to do things, quote unquote, the right way. We refuse to do things that feel restrictive, like waiting on that spouse of yours to get married. I've suggested before several times that if we really want to do this, quote unquote, the right way, or start building, the last thing you would do is tell people to go live single for a decade and a half, maybe 2 decades, before you find somebody to have a life with, because what does that do? You're just spending money those 2 decades, right? So why wouldn't you wait until you actually met that person and just stay at home until then? No. Anything uncomfortable is out of the question. But hey, let's ask the question, why aren't we doing better? I don't know. Have no fucking clue. At least I won't say it out loud because, that'll just get you cussed out, right? That'll get you called a name, a hater. You just mad. So why even suggest it? Why even try it, right? I'm with y'all. Why try anything? Just fuck it. Let's just do whatever the fuck we want. That's the spirit. I'm a single mother, but I was once married. Let that sink in. Ha ha ha. Okay, so I'll double this logic. I was once someone who cared about helping people, but then I got my ass whooped helping people. So now you bitches can go fuck yourself. So the next time I see a dude with a brick in his hand beating the shit out of a chick, I know not to intervene because history. So that logic works. Don't do something because bad things can happen. Sound to me. Sound logic. All right, let's make sure we do that from now on. You help a friend financially, you can up in some shit. So why help him? Right? Sound like to me. I mean, you got married people still doing everything themselves. Just because you are a married doesn't mean it's a better family dynamic. It all depends on the person you are with. I get that you're saying, but some people don't value the marriage union. There are still, do you want that regardless of style? Oh my God. Clearly you didn't take English before you wrote this comment section. Hold on. Damn. I see why this logic gets you. But here we go again. That's probably the last one. It's a lot of these. I'll be here for about 6-7 hours. But people, this is stupid. This is so dumb to really look at this. Here's all this is, the way I see it. This is just a way to not have to do anything. That's all this is. This is just a way to say, I really don't want to be put in a situation to where I could be uncomfortable at all. And yes, being uncomfortable is kind of like a part of life. It is unfair that you are requesting that if you get married, it's all just hunky-dory. Stop it. Please stop. That is some bullshit. But that's all this is. It's just your way or these people's way of saying, I'm fucking up on purpose. Get out of my way. But also be there for me when I need you to help me. I'm glad that, that's all this is. I guess put it in the comment section. Be right, not positive. I'm out.